So, back in the early 2000s, things looking pretty good for Nintendo. They got the SpongeBob, they got the money from the SpongeBob, and other than that, everything's looking terrible. They've just invested an estimated $300 million into Rocket Power. Bad mistake, rookie move. In walks these guys called Dimartinietsko, Bragg for short, says I got this new show called Avatar, do you want it? They say okay, and then bam, it's the best show ever. You want the characters, it's got the best characters. You want the story, it's got the best story. You want the action, it's got the best action. You want the 300-foot god turtle who can change the laws of nature on a whim, it's got the best 300 story, whatever I said. Kids are really into the fantasy and the magic these days with the Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings, and Avatar's got that, but it's got Kung Fu too, and some of the best graphics ever seen by the human eye. Real original plot it's got going. It's got this little boy who's the chosen one who has to stop the Dark Emperor from taking over the world. Never seen that one before. Season 1 something of the Whistle Stop Tour, setting up the people, the lore and the conflict that inhabit the world of the four nations. We're introduced to Aang, our aforementioned chosen one, and a brother and sister team of Sokka and Katara from the Southern Water Tribe. They're being chased down by Zuko, who's apparently the best character because he's a bad guy and now he's a good guy. But not yet. But most important of all is Uncle Iroh, who's the wise, elderly character who's everyone's favourite. Everyone's favourite character is Iroh. As season 1 wraps up, we see why Iroh shines as a wise and elderly figure who can guide pretty much any character on the show as he approaches 14-year-old Princess Yue and tells her something incredibly important.
I think you should kill yourself. We would all be better off if you were to die.
Season 2 takes the Aang deeper into the Earth Kingdom where plot thick and character revelations are made and new threats arise, especially as the audience is introduced to Zuko's evil little sister Azula and her sidekicks Tweedledee and Tweedleglum. The main heroes also adopt a fourth member of the gang named Toph, a blind little girl, who the show constantly makes fun of for being a blind little girl. As our main heroes get caught in a web of scheming and treachery in the city of Ba Sing Se, Zuko goes through his own internal conflict in which Iroh offers more of his infinite wisdom.
Prince Zuko, perhaps it is time to leave behind the Fire Nation and the conflict that has brought you here. I believe that you should settle down and open a tea shop with me because that's what I want to do. The path you follow will only lead to eternal redemption for yourself, your family, and your entire nation. I mean, who even really gives a shit, my dude?
In the end though, Zuko foolishly rejects his uncle's kind offer of advice, and the heroes save the day and take the fight to the heart of the Fire Nation in the third and final season of the show. Even though the third season might not be as cohesive a unit as the second one, it's really where some of the best episodes are. Characters get satisfying conclusions to the story arcs, the stakes are risen, Sokka makes a man's head explode with a boomerang. The season's really structured around an eclipse where firebenders will lose their powers for a single day, so there's a build-up and fallout from a failed invasion of the Fire Nation on the eclipse day. But uh-oh, because now there's a comet and the comet can make the firebenders bend more than they could on a normal day, and they've got to stop the bad guys before that day. So now the gang are gearing up for the final battle, and Aang decides that he's a pacifist and actually can't kill the evil emperor. Just before the final conflict, Uncle Iroh pulls Zuko aside for one final bit of guidance.
No, Prince Zuko, I cannot fight my brother, who is also your father. Probably should have mentioned that at some point in the video. I cannot fight my brother, as history will see that as just another example of siblings fighting for power. Now go! You must fight your sister to claim the title of Fire Lord and determine who gets to live in a big fancy palace.
So he does, and then Aang beats up Zuko's dad and everyone's saved and the world lives happily ever after. The show finishes and everyone's happy, and then it spawned off an incredible, revolutionary, life-changing comic sequel called How I Became Yours, and it was turned into not just one, but soon to be 2 live-action adaptations, because as we know, animation isn't a medium that can achieve any sort of artistic merit on its own. It can only serve as source material for live-action adaptations by big studios that are generous enough to see the monetary potential in the thing. Otherwise, it's all just children's filth.